I will call this meeting to order. Roll call.
Counselor Ross.
Present.
Mayor Levine.
Present.
Counselor Levine.
Present.
Counselor Thronson.
Present.
Thank you.
Pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. First up, consent agenda. Do we have any discussion, changes?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Consent agenda approved. Number 6, first up, we have Alan Johnson and Smart Engineering. To discuss pay request 17 and change order number 4.
This in the packet is, change order 4 and the pay request for $20,779.24. We, talked about these two items at the last council meeting. I was going to get a locate ticket from utility systems. They did not provide one yet. Jim was out in the office a couple of days, but I tried to call her today. His voicemail was full. So I don't have an update on that, but I can maybe a little further explanation of that. So they're not asking for money to fix the fiber cable that was damaged in this. This was the time additional it took to dig around these two utilities that were there. More so the abandoned gas main that was there, that wasn't shown on our plans. An abandoned utility doesn't get marked typically. So that's a big portion of the time on that piece of the change order.
Can I ask why are we being blamed for that then? We really didn't have anything to do with that gas line, did we?
No, it does. It's just a change in scope to what the conditions were is kind of the argument they're making.
So do we have any argument back, or we just have to pay the bill?
That's kind of, it's a change in conditions to the actual site conditions from what the plan depicts.
Yeah.
So it would be more difficult to work around a buried utility than not to have one. It's kind of the argument I heard from him. He was going to get me a ticket number by today, even we had told him it's coming back up on this council meeting and haven't received it yet, so.
I have a question.
Yes.
So they did this July of 2022,
Correct,
but we're not seeing it until now.
correct.
I would ask why. Because if it was done a year ago or over a year ago, why are we paying it now? Why wasn't there a change order brought to us then?
I asked too, so it's a year old, correct?
Yeah.
Over a year old. And it's something to consider too. I know the other piece of this change order was the buried electric at the wastewater plant. If you want to keep it moving along, you can approve it without this part on there. And I can put together a revised change order for following that, so it'd be minus that
I think so.
$7,079.68 that was shown on it.
I'm in favor of that too.
Yeah.
Me too. I don't feel we should pay this right now, or whatever. I want to see the slip and we move on to the other one.
So I can prepare that, and I would also reflect, so in this P request 17, that item is being paid for, so it also impacts, pay press number 17 in a similar amount. I can put the revised stuff together, get it back over to the city, and I'll consider that. They really did want to get paid for these other items that were on here too, so.
Can we add it to our next meeting? Would that be, we're planning a special meeting next week. Would that be feasible, or so you can get the correct paperwork to us?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to table till the next 20th.
Okay.
I'll second that. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Just a quick update, they did install that backflow valve, that was with the contractor, George Dawson Sons, it's in and out pretty quickly. There's probably some touch-up stuff that'll have to happen next spring, but everything went real well as planned, and, should be in operation from springtime, so.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, 6.2, Commissioner Casey Venema, update council on Itasca County.
Mayor, council, thanks for having me. A few things, 169 Coalition has been started. It's a task that part of myself, Lauren Solberg, signed off on it. It's been put down with the state. It's being registered. Once it's in, we will be hitting to Grand Rapids, Cohasset to get on board with this, to have city members help with the fact that we're trying to get this 169 project done between Pengilly and Tackett. They were given, the state awarded $6.6 million this spring to start the engineering, everything on the process testing. We're not sure where that's at because we need to get this coalition going to be able to push on them. That highway's been there for a long time and it needs to be finished. So there will be an ask once this is started to come to your board, all the cities to hopefully be a part of this. So jail update, the jail will be commissioned in March. They originally thought January, but they're not behind. The original date was March, but they thought they were going to be done early. They're not. So bringing into that the 1% sales tax that has been put on the county to help pay for it. Since April to about a month ago, there's been just over $4 million collected in the sales tax, which is goes towards helping pay this down. So summer tourism definitely helped. So ambulance service in Nashwauk's kind of a hot topic right now for everybody. Today there was a meeting in Mountain Iron. I could not make it because I had other board meetings, but I did send a small little letter and the supervisor from my township read it for me. But it sounds like it was a packed house up in Mountain Iron. It lasted 2 hours and 15 minutes. So I know to start with, they had 30-some people to kind of give their testimony on it. I think there was a lot more if it lasted 2.5 hours. So again, that's the tough part of that one is, and we all know is they're losing money, and we got to figure out how to help them because they go from Goodland all the way to Togo from here and over. So and part of what my letter was today was 17 years ago, I had a heart attack right here at Keewatin and that ambulance saved my life. So I'm a promoter of it. So yesterday the county voted 4-1 to do leases with tax forfeit on the Masada Metallics to try to move that project forward. Part of the reason for that is if the ore goes across the county line, we lose the production tax, which is $11 million per year, and we would get $250,000 of that. So we need, as much as the trouble is, and we all know the trouble of the past of that project, it's still a benefit to our county that we try to make production tax stay right here. And, you know, there's a good opportunity for two companies to work there side by side. I'm not ousting Cleveland Cliffs by any means. Myself personally, I want both companies to be able to work there side by side. We need the jobs, and we need the taxes that comes off of that production tax, so. And I apologize, it's been a busy year for a first timer. So I made it twice, so, and I have been here for other stuff, but, so. Any questions?
Where are they heading with this ambulance? I mean, I didn't get a chance to make the other meeting.
So right now, they're basically, they asked to put some type of a task force together. I volunteered one of the other commissioners that covers the Goodland part of it. I think they're gonna try to get a few city members involved in it, and I think this thing that went on today, this EMS part of it, I don't know if they're gonna ask all the cities to throw something in now just to cover them for this year and try to promote for next year. I don't know. I do understand it's, you know, one of the questions that came from Balsam Township was, okay, well, if you do start making money again, if everybody gets in this little group to you know, run an ambulance service, or you can just everybody get some of that money back, and, you know, and those are all the tough questions that Nashwauk starts making money and they stay in control of it. Well, does everybody share the benefits if they do make some money on it? So, but you know, ultimately, the county gives $60,000 a year to Nashwauk's ambulance, $60,000 to Big Fork, and $40,000 to Deer River. Or they can be, you know, without that, they can be even at a bigger loss. So, something gotta happen.
You guys are already doing your part.
We all are, in some way. We all pay the taxes. So,
Okay,
thank you.
thank you for
Thank
coming.
you.
Then we'll move on to unfinished business. First up, update on joint sewer board letter of employee time from attorney Brian Lindsay.
Hot off the presses, I apologize for being a couple minutes late, but Brian's getting this letter done for me, so if you want to take a minute to take a look at it. I think, you know, I've looked over this contract as has Brian, and I think he, you know, correctly stated the issue, how the contract is not being followed. And additionally, on the second page in the third and middle paragraph, you'll see that they're also not respecting the fact that our municipality has an obligation to vote and make decisions on any kind of expenditure over 25,000. So I thought that was a good thing to add into the letter as well. So I don't know if you have any questions. If it's acceptable to the council, I guess just as a matter of formality, we probably want to vote a motion and a vote for them to go ahead and send this out. If you have any input, I'd be happy to bring it back to you.
Yeah, I think it looks good.
Does that cover everything that you guys think?
Good start. Mhm.
Yeah.
Good start.
Okay, so we'll tell him that, I guess you'll have to do a motion. to
Yeah.
approve it then.
I'll make a motion to allow the attorney to submit the letter to the East Itasca Joint Sewer Board regarding the M&R.
I'll support the motion.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Are we holding off on those invoices then for now?
That's later on the agenda here.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
seven
thought there
point
was a
five.
hold on, that's what Brian said, he thought, given this, there would be a hold, but
Okay.
it's your call on that, obviously. So that's further down the agenda.
Yeah. Okay.
Alright, 7.2, approve the transfer leases for Glacier Park properties.
Yeah, so, and I guess, Brian and I have talked about the transfer leases, and those are the leases with the individuals, they're basically sub-leases, right, from the city of Keewatin to individuals who occupy the properties. What Brian requested of me today was to ask you a few questions. He has been in contact with, Mr. Matt Walto? And we want to provide one master lease that's going to be used for all the tenants so that it's consistent. And what we would do is submit that with the main lease with Glacier so that they would have a template. This is what our lease looks like. This is what we send out. What Brian had requested is to find out whether the council wanted to look at adjusting the terms of those leases and perhaps the rates, I don't know. I know the rates seem to vary based on individuals, anywhere from 100 to 300 some, so I don't know if you want consistent rates, if there's a reason to have different rates. The second thing is he suggested that you reduce the term of the leases, whether you reduce it to 3 to 4 years, because if you have the leases with the Glacier go to 5, so if for some reason Glacier decides not to renew, we need some time to get the tenants out of there on our end. So he suggested we don't do 5 years. You could do any period of time, obviously, but maybe no more than 4. But he wanted some direction on that. And then he is working on some stronger language in terms of how to terminate these leases and get a little more leverage there. So if we have blight issues or we have people in these properties that don't belong there, we have a little more ability to take action on that. So he's got it in process. He can have it ready for the next meeting, but he just wanted to make sure he had some guidance from the council, particularly on the terms and the rates, and maybe educate me on the rate part of it if you need to.
I'm not sure.
I'm very much in favor of doing the 4-year for all of them up there. And we keep the city at a 5-year with Glacier.
Right.
Because that would help us definitely, like, that makes a lot of sense to me. But I also thought that this had something to do with the 2 new,
Yeah, and I
Oh,
can
okay.
address that, Councilor Johnson. Thank you for reminding me of that.
okay,
He said, he originally looked at whether we would assign the leases of the people who have gone into the properties after somebody's deceased. He thought it would be better, again, for leverage from the city's point of view, to just do new leases with these folks. Identify who they are, we'll prepare the master lease for them and have them sign on. Because you start getting into assignments, it gets more tricky, and, making clear who's there and, what the relationship is. If the council's comfortable with the people who are in these properties, then we just get their names and put a new lease. If you're not, then that's a different matter. But I think just starting off with a fresh lease with these folks on the 2 that he was potentially gonna have assigned would make more sense and just make it less cumbersome to address issues as they come up.
I think that that's a good
Yeah.
idea, but what I would like the council to get then also is how they are doing as far as if they're paying their leases, keeping their utilities.
Right,
If we could get that information for us for the next meeting,
right.
to make sure everyone's kosher.
Right, and the master lease ideally would be the same for everyone, and we just plug in the names, the rates, and have it all be a 4-year term so that you know what you're dealing with, right? It's consistent then. And I don't know about the rate piece. There were, like I said, there were differing rates, and we weren't quite sure how that originated, if that was a matter of just carryover for who's been there the longest, or.
I don't think it has to do with that. I think it depends on their parcel
The
size.
type of parcel.
Yeah.
Okay. And if that makes sense to the council, we can stay with that. I just didn't.
Because if you look at them, some of them are on smaller lots, but some of them,
Right,
yeah.
okay,
So that's what the purpose is on that.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if that's consistent and the council's comfortable with that, that's fine. I didn't know if the council wanted to look at any rate increases as well. I mean, I don't know if that makes sense. It's up to
How
the
long have they
council.
been in effect, the same rates?
I think they went up in 2020. That information would be in that file too,
Yeah,
but for
I've got
some
that.
reason, I think that they went up.
I
When
don't know
we
if I have
started.
anything on that, I just think I have the actual, the current,
Okay,
yeah, the current rates are here, but
or am I thinking the administrative fee that was put on there?
perhaps.
I would have to look, I don't recall exactly without,
And like, what are the fees, like per year then, what are?
they're all different. Some
They're
pay
very-
$35, some pay
Oh.
$125,
Oh,
because they own more land.
Right.
So it's all,
35 and.
yeah.
I think I have this in the file, but I'm not sure if this is updated, I just want to pass that around. That's the information we have gotten from.
I'm not positive, but I know that they're different, that's what I'm saying.
And I think they're annually paid, if I remember right, too.
And is everyone current on their?
Mayor Levine, would you consider tabling this till I can get you all the documentation on the current prices of the leases so that you could make that decision at your next meeting?
Yeah, if you haven't,
I'm
you
in
know,
favor of that.
yeah.
We can have the lease ready to go and then
Yeah,
just
we can just plug in
decide.
the numbers once
Yeah.
we get that information from you, but
Okay.
we'd like to get it done for
Yeah.
the end of the year for you all. And then get the master lease with the blanks to
Mhm.
Glacier, so they have that, they know the template.
Mhm.
And, yeah, and then I guess moving on, it kind of comes into the lease with Glacier, I think, again, Brian's been in touch with Walto, and I think they have a good working document. That one could probably be approved at this point unless the council has any other questions, but I don't have that one in front of me, I think that may have already been provided to the council. So. Or maybe if it hadn't, I will bring it.
It hasn't.
If we could have all of it. for the
Yeah.
next
Maybe
the
just
next
put all of it
meeting,
on,
yeah.
that's fine. And I
Thank
think
you.
he's in good communication, I think Mr. Walto needs to have somebody, his attorney, somebody higher level review it as well, so we have information about that, the really changes based on that.
Okay.
So,
I'll make a motion to table the transfer leases for Glacier and the city of Keewatin ground lease till the next council meeting.
yeah.
Thank you.
So we're thinking in terms of getting the leases prepared, you want to direct us to go ahead and do the leases for 4-year terms then?
Yes.
And then we'll leave the rate open for further information, and we'll look at some termination language if that's what the council's direction is.
Sure.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. Unfinished business, 7.4, update on 132 East Elizabeth Avenue.
This council may recall we had to redo the order because of not able to find a motion or resolution back in November of last year. So the 6-month period has expired, so Brian is prepared to go ahead with the council's approval to give us a motion again in order to go forward with filing a notice of motion in court to get an order to remove. We will file that, it's ready to go, we just need, again, the council's direction to go forward with it.
I'll make a motion
I'll
to
support
proceed
it.
with that.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. We just gonna skip this one since we pretty much covered it already.
Do we need to table that?
I would formally table it if that's what you're going to do.
Okay, I'll make a motion to table the approval of the OM&R invoices for the joint sewer agreement until we hear from the attorney.
I'll second that. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Seven point six, review implementation of credit card finance charge. I'm kind of thinking like 3%.
That's about the
Anybody
average, I
else
think.
got anything? Suzie?
It doesn't matter, I mean, there's nothing we can do, it's out there.
Something in the
I was
middle.
thinking 2.5, what's the difference, 5%?
Yeah.
You know, whatever you guys decide, it needs to be done. It's been,
And that'll be on all credit card charges, correct? Everything that goes through the credit card machine.
dog licenses,
Yep.
Yeah,
just so everyone understands.
Do we want a minimum? I suppose.
Well, there is a minimum on it for
Oh,
10 right now,
10.
correct?
Okay.
Isn't it 10?
I do not know.
I think there was a minimum up there that you couldn't use the machine for $7.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's a $10 minimum.
Okay.
And then that would cover the license.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve a 3% credit card processing fee and a minimum charge of $10 for all charges in the city.
A second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. 7.7, approve public utilities clerk request to change online payment processing vendor from PSN to Nuvve.
Mayor,
Yep.
Public Utilities Clerk Billy Fowler emailed the council. She did have the opportunity to go over some questions and answers with Counselor Thronson. Did anybody have any questions from the information that she sent you?
It's a huge savings if it turns out to the way it's gonna,
Mhm.
the way it's stated and the way they've explained it to us, but. So, I mean, how could we not be in favor of it?
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, I'm in favor.
From 500 to 995?
Yeah,
Mhm.
right. I'll make a motion, to switch over from PSN to Nuvve for public utility. And
I'll support.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. Under 8, new business. Discuss CTC telephone and internet service charges and upgrade telephone system. I guess we'll take no action on that. We haven't heard anything back.
Okay.
8.2, discuss requests for professional engineering services. We haven't interviewed, the remaining, or some of the engineering outfits that are plumbing. So I think we need to, set up another round of, and
Yeah, I
discuss.
guess I went through them all, and there's a couple that definitely stand out. And I agree, we should probably have an interview with the firms and make a decision going forward. Would next week work? You think, if you want to contact?
Let Beth set it up and
Are we doing all of them, or do we have a preference on? How do you want to do it?
I guess so. I guess we'll do, 2 at the last, I believe. Did 1 already.
You did?
Yeah.
Was that,
Uh,
Bolton,
Mink and
they came here.
they came here that afternoon one week.
not for the council,
No, they didn't.
No.
so I guess, yeah, I wasn't involved in that, were you? No, okay.
So are you directing the clerk to contact the engineers to set up interviews? Is there a particular day next week that you'd like to do it so you're all in attendance?
I'd say probably that, the 20th.
can you do Wednesday? Yeah. Can do Wednesday.
What time do you want to start? We can,
Anytime good for me, so it doesn't matter.
Does it matter?
works.
You work,
Anything.
you go.
That's fine. Whatever. I'll make it work.
Okay.
Just do like 15-minute interviews or so?
Yes.
You want to start at 4, you want to start at, when you want to start?
Or,
Okay. So I'll make a motion to have Clerk Finicky set up interviews for engineering on December 20 at 4 o'clock.
I'll support that. Any further discussion? All in favor?
aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Okay, 8.4, approve the city of Keewatin in partnership with Habitat for Humanity and United Way for Day of Action. Want to address that?
Mayor Levine, I reached out to the council and you all came back with, in support of partnership with the Habitat for Humanity United Way Day of Action. We're gonna get more information as it comes in, but it's a great, similar to our cleanup day, but it would be a day of action here within the city. And it's only offered to specific, if we had passed on it, it would have went to a different city, so. Thank you to Sarah Carling for thinking of the city of Nashwauk and offering it to, or city of Keewatin and offering it to us.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the partnership with Habitat in the United Way.
I'll support.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. 8.5, we need to approve the 2024 liquor license and Sunday liquor for Track and Racks at Bernie's and ARG Enterprises Betaqua Bar.
8.5. I'll make a motion to approve the 2024 liquor and Sunday license.
I'll second that. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. 8.6, approve 2024 club license at the American Legion Post 452.
I'll make a motion to support club license for American Legion 452.
Support.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. 8.7, approve the 2024 off-sale licenses for Birdie's, Track and Rats, and Keewatin Betaqua Bar.
Approve. I'll make a motion.
You already did it?
No, that was,
This is off sale.
Okay,
I'll second.
this is off-sale. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. 8.8, approve the retail sales of cigarette and other tobacco products. Keewatin Sinclair, DJ Retail at the Dollar General Store.
I'll make a motion to support to approve the cigarette licenses for the Sinclair and Dollar General.
I'll support. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. 8.9, discuss flooding of recreational ice rink and attendance. Adopt a resolution to hire Bradley Burton, Ethan Savaline, and Vincent Cordoni, and Jaden Dawson for rink attendance. We have any discussion on it?
I'll make a motion to hire the seasonal employees, just with a couple notations on the resolution regarding just seasonal employees.
I'll support.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Adopt resolution to hire Jay Lynn as casual labor to flood recreational ice rink.
Seasonal.
Mayor,
Yes.
it wouldn't be casual labor.
Casual labor,
It would not be. It would be seasonal.
season.
I'll make a motion to hire Jay Lind as seasonal
I'll second it.
to flood the rinks.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. 8.11, adopt resolution for Keewatin Police Department to apply for and accept funds from All Traffic Solution for a Shield 12 radar speed sign with traffic cloud software.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. 8.12. Okay, update council on meeting with CLA auditor Mary Reed, CPA, CGFN. Under A, approve closing of petty cash accounts at Park State Bank for library, police, and city clerk. Department and transfer balances to appropriate fund in the general checking account fund 101.
I'll make a motion to do that.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Under D, approve closing the checking account at Park State Bank for the 4th of July and transfer $1,232.75 to Fund 201 and $7,309.98 to Fund 101 in the general checking account.
I'll make a motion to approve the closing of the checking account for the 4th of July from Park State Bank, transferring to the general fund.
I'll make them, also second, just with a little update on that, just so everyone's aware. So, after looking at the accounts with, the clerk on the 4th of July, because there was 2 checking accounts, and so the general fund was short the 7309, because some things got paid out of one checking account and some things got paid out of the other checking account. So in order to reimburse the general fund back what was basically overdrawn or overstated on the 4th of July and taking it out of the one account and putting in the other. So the beginning balance for the 4th of July this year is $1,232.75. And the fund recommendation from the auditor to set it up as a separate one and not have it in the general fund,
Under the 201.
under the 201, sorry. Did I say 701?
No, I just wanted to make
okay.
sure I was.
Yep, to put it
Oh,
under
okay.
201 then. Mhm. That's it.
We just, did we get a 1 and a 2?
Mhm.
You got that?
Mhm.
Okay, any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carried. Under C, approve the EDA saving account at Spire Credit Union and transfer it to Park State Bank checking in the economic development account in the following. Fund 175, streetscapes, 20,000. Fund 175, O'Brien Lake, 114,789.59. Fund 301, EDA, 21,265.41.
I'll make a motion to approve that.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carried. Under D, approve transfer of $15,210.41 June 2023 from EDA savings at Spire Credit Union to Park State Bank general checking account to pay O'Brien invoices.
I'll make a motion
I'll
to
second.
do that.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Approve E, Approve closing the public utilities checking account at Park State Bank and transfer the balance to Park State General Checking Account Fund 601.
I'll make a motion to do that.
I'll second it. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Motion carried. 8.13, set closed meeting date for employee reviews.
How many do we have?
Me, Mike, and Brody.
3? Okay.
And you're coming up for, on the 20th for engineer.
Say, are you planning on doing this before the end of the year or what?
Could we do it before the
27th.
27th meeting?
Good?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's fine.
I
Be
think-
fine.
Is that okay? Okay, I'll make a motion to set the employee reviews at 4 o'clock on December 27th.
A second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. 8.14, set special meeting date to review our budgets.
Is that, we'll
Well,
do
I
the
have
20th?
dates.
We can do the 20th
Yeah.
after the engineering. Okay, I'll make a motion to set the special meeting date for review of the general fund and the public utility budgets. And what else are we adding on there tonight? Is there
What
something
date
else?
is that one, the 20th?
Yeah. What were we
An
adding?
engineering review.
Engineering.
Yeah, that was at 3, but
That was at
there's
4.
something else, or 4.
Is it the leases?
Do you want those
That was
on
the
there?
next meeting.
Oh, I know what it was. It was the pay requests.
Oh.
That's what it was. Benchmark.
You know, I left that too.
It was a long time ago. And set that for 5.
Will you want Brian to attend the 20th meeting? Do you remember? Or just the 27th? You could let us know.
Okay.
When we set for the 27th.
Okay.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carried. Department head reports, 9-1. We'd like to discuss Keewatin hosting the Western Wasabi Mine Planning Board meeting January 11th, 2024 at the Keewatin Community Center.
They made a motion to have it back in Bovee.
Okay,
Oh.
all right.
Was it back in Bovee?
Or Marble. We were in Bovee when they made the motion. 9.2 though.
Okay, 9.2, discuss Keewatin hosting the MFOA regional meeting for clerks January 12th, 2024 at the Community Center.
I just want to comment on that. I don't know yet if it will be the 12th. It may be the 26th. So as long as it's
We'll be ready.
open.
We'll be ready.
Okay, so just to host a meeting in
We'll-
January. Okay.
Either day.
Okay.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Good, 15 minutes.
Motion to adjourn this meeting.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Oh, I guess, you know what? I'm going to make a motion to recess because we have to come back and adopt the resolution. So I'll make to recess at 5:45.
I'll second. Go ahead.
Good. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting recess. If you do, you gotta come up to the podium, give your name and address. And, let us know what you think of the taxes, and then when you're done, the next person will come, and everybody gets a chance to talk, then we'll talk, okay? So, have anybody, would like to come up to the podium?
We have to come up to the podium?
Yes, you do, yeah.
First of all, do you have a printed budget out that we could look at to see what you're spending the money on?
I don't know if we have them here, but we have them.
The council is reviewing the finalization of the budget on December 20th. So tonight's meeting is for the levy.
I understand that.
Okay.
Yeah. I understand.
Is there the resolution up there?
Well, just come up and tell us what you think, that's all.
I just have questions, I don't have.
Yeah, no answer them.
Okay, just feel free to step up to the
It's not a
podium there,
big
Barb.
deal. We're not gonna get in a fight.
I'll take your pillow away.
There you go.
Barb, call me 625 West Third Avenue, Keewatin, Minnesota. So I'm always interested about how our city spends their money, which is why I asked for a budget. I asked last year, inquired about it, about what we spend our money on. It's pretty significant this year. If this is the max on this tax statement that we received?
Yep.
That is max, is what you're telling me, and you're gonna adjust that after we're
No,
all
it's
talking?
not the
Or
max.
this is it?
That's
The
it.
max, it's not the max. The max is 100%,
Okay, yeah, so what is
That
this
was-
percentage?
15.
15% on here? Okay.
Mhm. What was your total?
Huh?
What was your total that it went
My
up?
total what?
What was your increase on Keewatin
Almost
only?
$100.
Okay.
Yes. I love my little community. I love the services that we get. That's not what this is about for me. But I just encourage fiscal responsibility and keeping things lean. And that's what I'm here to say. Keep it lean the best you can. So that's my 2 cents in a nutshell.
Thanks, Barb.
Thank you.
Sure. Go ahead, Jake. Don't be shy. Oh, okay.
Anyone else? Okay, I guess we'll all do a little talking on it. In regards to your question about what we spend our money on, I would say we're running pretty close to 80-some% on employees and benefits to our city, which are, they're crazy. I mean, health benefits are out of this world. And we're gonna try to adjust some of that hopefully on this contract, make it fair for everybody. But, that's one of the issues. This council inherited $2.5 million of debt that the previous council spent and left for us. $2 million on the sewer plant in Nashua, which we were told was all paid for. We owe them $2 million. Hopefully we get to adjust that down the line by other cities joining in, and I'm working on that. Me and Beth have met with Kelly, Marvel, trying to get them to join. Lone Pine, as you know, is gonna join. That'll lower our debt for that $2 million. So that'll help down the line. We haven't raised taxes in the city of Keewatin for 7 years. We went back. All the raises that you people see comes from the valuations. We're getting killed by our valuations. My valuation went up another 40,000 this year. Went up 40,000 last year. So my taxes keep going up, up, up. When Representative Igor was here, I met with him, me and Beth did, and I asked him right out, how, when our levies say 500,000, and everybody's taxes double, where did the money go? Keewatin didn't get any more of it, but everybody else, everybody's taxes doubled. Where did the money go? It goes to the state. state took the money and you see what they did with $17 billion. There's your fiscal problem. They spent it all. And now they're already telling us in 2026, they're gonna be short. I don't know what to do. But we know we're falling behind on the city's law.
I understand.
And we wanted to raise last year and we didn't because of the school coming in, with the bond and the people having to pay that, plus the valuations, I think were even higher last year. We backed off, but we can't back off again because at some point we have to up the income. Everything else, like our equipment, the parts, the labor, everything has just gone crazy. Triple what we paid for filters, for oil, for blades, you just name it. We've been buying secondhand, we never bought secondhand equipment. We bought equipment one time, usually lasts the city for 40, 50 years. We're buying secondhand. We bought a tractor now on a barn find, if you can believe that. And that's what we gotta do. We're doing everything we can. Anybody else have something to say?
I'll make a couple comments. Yeah, basically the valuation is what's increasing a lot and my taxes this year went up $40. So I was pretty happy about that, just for Keewatin. So, even though we did 15%, the general fund levy was $477,380 last year. It's $548,987, which is a difference of about $71,000. We heard a lot last year about keeping the police officer and having 3 full-time police officers. That doesn't cover one person. That's basically a part-time employee. With wages and benefits, it adds up. So 15% really isn't a whole lot. I don't know how it affected, Beth, have you heard from any?
We have gotten no telephone calls, no letters,
So I haven't either.
but we appreciate you coming in though.
Right.
Oh, I'm just encouraging you to be lean.
And we are watching the budget
Yeah.
this
And
coming
if
next year,
I could
we
add
will
2
be.
more cents, it's not unheard of that employees pay part of their health insurance premium these days. So I don't know where we are in the city, if we're still paying 100% of everybody's, but
Employees pay 10%.
yeah. So other entities are paying 20, it's a 75-25. I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do.
We're looking at it.
So I'm just encouraging you. Like I said, I love my little city. I love the benefits. I don't have any other complaints beside the fence across the street. And if that's my biggest worry, then I got life is good, So,
And I'm sure they love that fence where they don't have the headlights going into their living room and,
I
It's
have
just
no
a
idea what
choice.
they think.
yeah.
I'd like to add one other thing. This council's worked really hard in the last couple of years on recruiting money. We got $350,000 over here to finish North First Street. We'll have new curbs and gutters and street lighting to go with the new bank that we recruited into town that invested $4 million in Keewatin. That's gonna help our town immensely when they start paying taxes. That might lower, we won't have to raise ours, I wouldn't say it'll lower it, but it'll help with our, We did a sign out here, Susan got all the money for that, all donations, this council's got.
Well,
fire
it came from
department.
Landon, like with, yeah.
We recruited money, she's been out hustling, getting us money. O'Brien Lake, next year, you'll see a huge change out there, a new beach house up on top of by the parking lot. We're gonna redo the pavilion so we can rent that out, and that will be bringing income into us. Like the community center, we rent that almost, on a regular basis. That's bringing income in, that's all we can do.
Get it? stay the course.
Yeah, that's all we can do. I feel the pain from taxes too.
You know, mine went up quite a bit last year, and went up 30,000 again this year in valuation. I hope my kids are happy with their inheritance,
Yeah.
you know?
We might be able- Jerry, what do you got to say?
No, I see the
Podium,
city.
podium,
you guys
podium.
raise it, you know,
Podium.
just-
Podium.
But, you know, we got mail from the
Mayor.
county, we got, and the
Mayor.
school, which we knew was.
You gotta come up, Jerry.
State
But I
your
wanna hear
name.
what you got to say. I respect your opinion.
I see the city held their own, you know, on the thing, and the only comment I have is, if my house was 5 miles that way or 5 miles that way, I paid $300 less to the city.
Yeah.
And, you know, I don't know what, you know, Nashwauk, I don't know how they do it, but it's $300 less, my exact same house over there. you know.
But that depends on where you live. If your house was over there in that new location, you'd be paying more.
Yeah. My house, the valuation of my house compared to, and the person I use is Tommy Longsack. His house, I don't know what he
Yeah.
used to be, Urbex
Right.
house. In town, I'm in town. He's got a street. I don't have a street, but I'm not complaining to put a street in.
Privacy.
Anyhow, this is $300 less, or $329 less than mine in Keewatin.
Yeah.
And, you know, I know Nashwauk has more businesses and this and that, but, you know, it's just a comment I have.
I agree with you.
You know, and in Hibbing, it's kind of the same thing. If my house over there would be less too, but Hibbing, you can't compare Hibbing and Keewatin. I'd say Nashwauk is more of a comparison, you know. So I guess, I know you guys got a tough job as far as
Please.
you guys are gonna look at combining, you know, resources or services, and that's not fun, I know. And you guys got a tough job ahead of you because.
We've been trying to do that too. I don't know how Nashwauk and Hibbing are keeping their valuations down.
They're not.
They're
Their
driving
valuations
ours
went
down.
up.
Oh, Nashwauk was complaining
Yes.
in that new edition horrendously.
Yeah,
It was
He's not-
really bad.
He's not in the new edition.
yeah.
No,
No.
I understand that.
They were complaining when I was there 8 years ago, so they must
Well,
really
you
be
know,
Yeah.
complaining. Thanks.
Well, and that's what it is. I mean, you just gotta chip
Thank you
away
for
at
bringing it
it.
to my attention.
Don't worry,
Appreciate
I'm
it.
not running for council. So.
Okay. Recess. I'll make them, are we done?
Yep.
I'll make a motion to adjourn Truth and Taxation meeting.
I'll second that. Any further discussion? All fair?
That's not a different meeting.
Just on the same time.
Do you have to have a motion to come out of recess?
No, just re-adjourn. Reconvene,
What's that?
reconvene.
All right, we'll
6:15.
reconvene back to the original meeting. And vote on certifying this levy.
I'll make a motion to adopt the final levy for 2023 payable in 2024 for the general fund.
A second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried.
Make a motion to adjourn. Unless someone else has something.
Any further discussion? All in favor? Meeting adjourned.
I can do that.